Hi guys, Mrs. Cook here. So last time we talked, Missy and Perry taught you about right triangles, and today I'm going to be teaching you about the Pythagorean theorem. So I'm going to get rid of my face now, and just know that we miss you guys a ton, and we love you, and we think about you all the time. So this old guy right here is Pythagoras. He's the one that came up with the Pythagorean theorem. We're going to get into what that is later. Just know if you forget his name, that's okay, as long as you remember the theorem and the formula. I'm going to quickly go over what Miss Dean Perry taught you. So remember she told you to label the triangle. And I'm always going to start with the hypotenuse, the one that is directly across from my 90 degrees. Now, anyone know what we labeled it? If you are thinking C, you are right. And the other ones are legs, and we label this as A and B. Now his theorem that he came up with was A squared plus B squared equals C squared. And what does that look like? That's saying that if I was to make a square from this side A, pretend this is a square, and make a square from this side B, we're also pretending that is a square. So if this side A squared plus side B squared actually equals the square of side C. That's his theorem. A squared plus B squared equals C squared. This is your best friend. Remember it. Think about it. Now I'm going to show you a video robot that shows exactly what I am talking about. So right here, find it. So the two little squares are going to equal that big square. Let's see what happens. It should fill all the way perfectly. Bam. Now we're going to turn it back, and we're going to see that the big square is the two little squares. This is the Pythagorean theorem. Ask yourself what side is C. If you're thinking the big square, you are right. Now, let's talk about how we are going to use this. Whoops, there we go. So, we're going to use this theorem. Remember, A squared plus B squared equals C squared. Step one is to label the sides. A, B, C. I always like to label C first because that's the one that's directly from the 90 degrees. This is C. Now let's label the other sides. A and B. Now we're going to fill in our numbers, the 3, 4, and 5, into the theorem. And the way we labeled it tells us where it goes. So A is 3. So I'm going to erase that A and put 3 squared. B is 4. So I'm going to erase that B and put 4. Now, ask yourself, what is C? If you're thinking 5, you are right. You're going to erase the C and put 5. So 3 squared plus 4 squared equals 5 squared. Let me do one more example with you. So step 1 was to label, go straight from the cross from the 90, and you get your hypotenuse, which is C, A, and B. So A squared plus B squared equals C squared. A is what? 8. So we put 8 squared. I'm going to write it underneath this time. Plus B is 6 squared. Good. Equals now C, my hypotenuse is 10 squared.